is my honor to be here this evening and to acknowledge that we are all gathered on the traditional territory of the Stolo Nation. We want to recognize Francis Henson, who amongst our team and volunteers welcomed us with the wonderful music and performance. Francis will be joining us on stage as we enjoy our meal shortly. Francis is a first-generation immigrant and is best known for his smooth guitar phrasing and unambiguous songwriting. We'll get to enjoy more of that very shortly. I'm also pleased to let you know that we will be enjoying, and I already shared this with my table mates, that we have the buffet dinner returning. Yes, buffet dinners are back! How have we not missed the buffet dinners? We're allowed to enjoy a buffet dinner now. I can see it. I am so excited. As much as I love takeout, and we had a lot of takeout over the last 2 years, it's always nice when we can actually have a buffet. So we're going to see the return of the buffet line very shortly. The things that we get excited about, right? I heard over conversation, people were excited about putting on their stockings for the first time, their makeup, doing their hair, wearing some nice clothes. And hey, if you came tonight wearing your Lulus or your jammies, you know what? That's okay too. This is a bit of a transition period. I am delighted to welcome everyone here on behalf of the organizing partners who made tonight's event possible. And I know there were many scenarios as they planned this evening's festivities, because we've all had to pivot. And I'm sure we have many stories of how we pivoted over the last 2 years. But please join me in thanking our organizing partners: Archway Community Services, Chilliwack Community Services, Mission Community Services, and Langley New Directions English Language School. We have more people in the house, actually in this ballroom and virtually. Some of our nominees and sponsors were unable to be here in person, and we are so incredibly thankful to WorkSafe BC. They stepped up, and they are our virtual event sponsor this year. So let's all give a very warm welcome to our nominees in the virtual room. There they are! Please give a wave, say hi, yes, hello. And that's right, you are on mute, so. We know what a raucous bunch you could be at home. But we're absolutely delighted that you can join us. And we do have a message from WorkSafe BC. I feel like I should be wearing one of those neon yellow and orange vests to say the message, but on behalf of WorkSafe BC, they would like to say it's their privilege to continue their ongoing support and sponsorship of this incredibly uplifting event. And I have to agree. I think, Patricia, you've reminded me now it's been 5 years or so that I've had the privilege of coming on the highway and being with all of you wonderful folks here tonight. So thank you for that. And I dare say your gas prices are a lot cheaper here in Abbotsford than it is in Vancouver. WorkSafe BC also wants to congratulate and encourage all the nominees for their efforts in recognizing the diversity of our community in their organizations and workplaces. WorkSafe BC believes a workplace that is inclusive and recognizes diversity is also a healthier and safer workplace in which to work. And I couldn't agree more. I absolutely believe when we talk of equity, inclusion, and diversity, we're talking about health and well-being. And for those that don't feel safe for those reasons, if you are unable to really understand what equity, diversity, and inclusion is, think of it as a health and safety matter. And that will probably help you navigate sometimes the challenges that many of us face in the workplace when it comes to inclusion, equity, and diversity. All our guests are very special to us, especially our nominees. Of course, this event would not be possible without all of you. But before we get to them, we would like to acknowledge some of our elected officials who have put themselves forward to serve us in public life. And we all know that is not necessarily an easy task. We ask them to stand as they are recognized. And we are going to start with someone that probably needs no introduction, His Worship Abbotsford Mayor Henry Braun. City of Langley Mayor Val Vandenbroek. The Township of Langley Acting Mayor Petrina Arneson. The Chilliwack Mayor Ken Popov. Ken, you brought your fans. It's all great. I think all two of them are sitting right there. Just if you want to know where they're sitting. Abbotsford councillors, Les Barkman, Kelly Shahal, Dave Lowen, and Patricia Ross. City of Langley councillor Terry James, who is joining us virtually. Give a wave. Chilliwack councillor Jason Lum. I was admiring your hair earlier, Jason. I really am digging it. Oh, is it called the Fred Lee? I was going to say it's called the Jason Lum, but I'll take it. There's a mutual fan group, love here for one another. Mission Councillor Jay Gill. And we have some MPs in the House, MP Bradley Viss. And MP Ed Fast. Perhaps come September 10th, you'll have new titles. Perhaps leaders? Perhaps? You know, as a member of the media, I'm always looking for breaking news. So is that a possibility? It seems like everyone is throwing their name in the hat. So if it's an invitation, Bradley, I might take you up on it. Let's give it up for our public officials, everyone. All right. At this time, I'd like now to invite Abbotsford Mayor Henry Braun to the stage as he will formally introduce tonight's guest speaker, also a very dear friend and a member of the media. And dare I say, you look absolutely beautiful tonight. So thank you so much for being here. Before I throw all the accolades at you, or the mayor will, I'm going to just share a few words about Mayor Braun. As mentioned, probably a gentleman that needs no introduction. Mayor Braun was absolutely critical, as well as calm, reassuring. His presence was felt throughout the Fraser Valley floods last year when we were all visited by that atmospheric river that literally ran through this hotel as well. Thank you so much, Mayor Braun, for your leadership. Everyone, please give it up for Mayor Henry Braun.
Thank you, Fred, for those kind words, but I couldn't have done it without my council colleagues, 4 of them who are here, our staff, and our community at large. This is an amazing community, so I accept it on their behalf. I'd like to start by acknowledging that we are located on the traditional territories of the Semith, Lecomal, and Matsqui First Peoples. And it's truly an honor to be here and to bring greetings to you on behalf of the City of Abbotsford and my Abbotsford City Councillors. The City of Abbotsford is proud to support the Fraser Valley Cultural Diversity Awards, coming together to recognize and highlight the organizations businesses, and individuals in our region who are champions of diversity and inclusivity is in itself a significant event. One of our key goals at the City of Abbotsford is to build a complete community. A complete community is one where everyone knows and feels like they belong, where different voices and ideas can be shared and heard, where we all feel encouraged to participate and welcomed in all neighborhoods. It's where we recognize our differences in culture, language, and tradition, and are celebrated for them. I realize that over the last 2 years, we've experienced a lot of division in our communities and in our country, and that sometimes it feels like we're anything but connected. But when I look around the room tonight and see so many individuals who are dedicated to celebrating what makes us unique and focused on bringing people together, I am encouraged that our goal of a complete community will one day be achieved. American poet Audre Lorde said, and I'm quoting, "It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences." End quote. That's what makes tonight's event so important. It acknowledges those who embrace diversity and inclusion as their core values, and it celebrates diversity across our region, highlighting the incredible value it brings to the social fabric of each of our communities. Thank you to everyone here tonight for promoting beauty and strength in our community through embracing diversity, celebrating our differences, and working so hard to help everyone feel like they belong. And now, on behalf of the organizing partners, I am pleased to introduce the keynote speaker for tonight's event. As the outgoing host of Virgin's Radio's morning show for over 18 years, Aurora is best known for her quirky sense of humor and no fear-based opinions. Nira has a deep commitment to women, children, and families in our community and is also a huge vocal advocate for her fellow visible minorities and supporter of women-driven success. Prior to joining radio, Nira was a host, reporter, writer, and producer for many different television programs and local magazines. Most notably, her writing was featured in Vogue India. She carries with her over 2 decades of media experience and has become one of the Lower Mainland's most sought-after and recognizable female voices and faces. So please welcome Nira Aurora to the stage.
Wow, that was just a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here this evening, and Fred, as you mentioned, in person. There's been lots of virtual events, and to see everyone's beautiful faces this evening, it's absolutely encouraging to see what our future holds. It was about 2 years ago, actually, where I was asked to speak at an event, and I was asked to speak about being a visible minority, growing up in Canada, in British Columbia, on Vancouver Island, and at that time, the small town of Nanaimo. And I remember saying to the organizers of this event, it was a women empowerment event, and I said, I don't really know if that's really a story. I don't know if I'm that important, if my story is that important, if anybody would take interest in what I had to say. And she said, no, we've never really talked about racism before. And from a female perspective, we would love for you to speak. So 2 years ago, I spoke from the heart, and I gave some of my personal journey experiences of being a very proud female Canadian, but also facing some of the racism that we do when you are a visible minority. I spoke with that vulnerable aspect that I'd never really showcased before. I had a wonderful, beautiful, honest reaction from those who were there at this event. And then about 7 weeks later, it was the death of George Floyd. And I remember calling the woman who was the organizer of this event, and I was in tears saying, and I thought these stories of racism, discrimination were not important. How wrong was I? And because of that and the escalation of the movement, I decided to start taking these opportunities to be more honest, to be more vocal. And when I was asked to be a part of this evening and to be a keynote speaker, I said yes, because over these last couple of years, I've done a lot of work. I've made a lot of mistakes on what I thought I was doing for my community, for my visible minority community, and realized that there was a lot of things that I hadn't really been focusing on that I should have. So tonight, I'd like to share some of my journey moments from the last couple of years and see what you may think of them. One of my key points that I would like to discuss and bring up with you is it's time to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is to start having those uncomfortable conversations with those around you. You need to be comfortable with you making people uncomfortable. And these moments is about you standing up for your thoughts, your feelings, for you to be an upstander in society. Yes, we can be a bystander. When you're a bystander, you're not necessarily doing anything wrong, but what are you doing right? And that's where I ask you to think more about being an upstander in our community, meaning that you want to make a change and let people know that certain things are not okay anymore. We are not going to let certain things slide anymore, because letting things slide was the easy thing to do. And I used to do it all the time because I wanted other people to feel comfortable around me. If they felt comfortable around me, I did not seem that different, because I did not want to be different, because being different made me feel small. And this is me talking from a time of growing up, being a visible minority in Nanaimo, having barely any friends of color. All my friends pretty much were white. And I never really wanted to let anyone know that I was a person of color, even though it's all over me. You know what I mean? But I never wanted to call people out on things that were wrong, incorrect, because it might make them uncomfortable. But no, now it's time. It was easier to blend in. It was easier to not showcase differences. I did not want to highlight the differences. I wanted to be comfortable. So one of the changes that I have made in the last 2 years is to now hold on to my accountability to stand up for my belief system. For example, I was at a baby shower. This baby shower was for an Indian woman. It was all mixed races at this baby shower. And as they do, name suggestions come up. I mean, who's been at a baby shower, right? Everybody's got suggestions for baby names. And as the suggestions were coming through, because it was an Indian woman who's having a baby, of course, Indian names were being suggested. Someone who was from the non-BIPOC community decided to say, I don't know. Indian names are just really hard to pronounce. It's just it's really hard work. Indian names are very confusing for us to say. And normally I would have just let that go because these are people I know. They're not racist. They're at an Indian woman's baby shower, right? It makes sense. You might laugh it off, but instead I decided, no, I need to make a change. I'm going to make things uncomfortable, and not everyone will appreciate this, but I told them, I don't think we can talk like that anymore. I don't think it's appropriate to say things like that anymore. And you could have heard a pin drop. You really could have. But I wanted to make a stand. And then I went to continue to say, no wonder my community has then put our traditional names aside and assigned nicknames or Western names to make you feel comfortable. And I think it's time for you to be a little uncomfortable. And that's okay. It's okay if people are uncomfortable. Doesn't mean we're not friends. It doesn't mean that I think any less of you. I'm just saying the uncomfortableness is a sign that things need to change. And when you have these conversations with people, stating your truth, standing up for your truth, makes you an upstander. I would like you to think about your platform. You are your platform. I've often talked about how fortunate I have been these last couple of years with the acceleration of the movement. We have made a giant change on our show as a top 40 radio station. This is unheard of. I know we are the only one in Canada. I don't know about the States, but we have now dedicated one break every single show that we do on our station at 94.5 Virgin Radio, now with the Holly and Nira show, where we do something about social justice, whether it's about women empowerment, whether it's about racism, whether it's about multiculturalism, whether it is about anything that's a positive impact, that can make a positive impact for the community. So yes, I'm very fortunate that I have that as a platform. But I was thinking about this. A platform doesn't always have to be so giant. If you dissect it for a moment and analyze it, I actually am my own personal platform. You are your own personal platform. We don't give ourselves enough credit for our voice. Your voice is your power, which is your platform. So I encourage you to believe in your platform, believe in yourself, use your platform to make the changes and to make the differences that we need in our community to build a stronger, positive, more systematic community together. If we all used our own personal platforms to send these positive messages throughout the community, it would be a giant positive change. Now, this next one, I talked to my co-host at work, Holly. She says this herself. She is as white can be. She's from North Van, grew up, and I asked her for permission if I can state this the way I wanted to state this tonight. She said, go for it. Yes, Nira. My statement is, I need white people. That's something that I need to admit. I need white people. It's not easy for me to admit because I'm the type of person who doesn't want to need anything or to need anyone. But the reality is I do. Not everybody's in the same boat as me. Not everybody will agree with me. Not everybody will understand what I'm trying to say, and this statement might make you uncomfortable. But let me explain. When there is someone out there who has already racially profiled me, they are not going to hear what I have to say. They are not going to listen to my words, or my reasons, or my education, or my history, or my stories of racism, my family's, my parents' stories of racism. They have already made up their mind about me. It's going to be way too hard for me to get through to them because, trust me, I have tried. I now realize I need to have a clear message, and I then need to fight the fight. As I focus on my message, as I fight the fight, I need my allies from the non-BIPOC community. I need my white friends. I need white people. I need you as allies to spread our messages of unity and acceptance. Because the reality is, our allies may actually be able to get through to someone more than a person of color. It's sad, but it is true. I may not have an impact on them, but I might have an impact on you. If I have an impact on you, you can take this message and spread it to those who aren't willing to listen to me based on the color of my skin. I will continue to tell my stories in hopes that the messages resonate with at least one person. For example, growing up, Madonna was a giant ally for me. She was on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. I don't know if you remember this, wearing Indian clothes, Indian jewelry. She wore a bindi, she had mehndi on her hands, and it took Madonna in Indian clothing for me to be proud of my Indian culture and background, for me to feel that I was accepted. Today, that would be called cultural appropriation. But for me, that was one of the greatest moments of my life. I needed Madonna. I needed her in Indian clothes for me to finally feel some form of acceptance. There is beauty and there's sadness in that story. I'd like to end with you taking a moment to think about your role model. Due to my career and my profession, I often get asked, who is your role model? Who are your role models? Because of this, I've done a lot of searching and a lot of reflecting. And I decided a couple of years ago that I actually want to be my own role model. And I encourage you to also be your own role model. I want to be an upstander. I want to stand up for those that may not have the strongest voice. I want to be someone that others can look up to and feel motivated by. If we can all take time to try to show ourselves some kindness and be our own role models in this world, then truly, truly, this would be a more accepting place. When we choose to accept ourselves and our flaws, and we desire to learn and to listen and to self-educate, we are naturally fueled. Becoming our own role models may be the key to give the world more of what it needs: understanding and acceptance. Thank you.
I wholeheartedly agree. Our table is saying that is so wise, Neera. Everyone, please join me in thanking Neera for sharing her story and your wisdom with us tonight. I think we all agree everyone has a voice, everyone has a story, and when we share our stories, we ultimately create conversations. We create dialogue. That leads to better understanding and an appreciation of our differences, our uniqueness, and why we all should be celebrated. And I agree, we are our own role models. So on behalf of the organizers, we really do appreciate you joining us tonight, Neera, as we celebrate diversity and inclusion in our community. And we know how early you get to bed for your morning call, so for you to carve out the time to join us this evening, to make the journey out here from South Surrey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, on behalf of everyone, we have a little gift if you'd like to come up and accept this. It's another opportunity for you to show off your wonderful outfit. There we go. Great. Thank you. I couldn't help, as I was listening to Neera's words, I'll just share my own little personal anecdote, if I may. When I was a kid, I wanted to be like everyone else, like the white kids. And I'm not sure if it was a cultural thing, but I wanted to be known as Chad. Because everybody was a Chad with their blonde hair and blue eyes and athletically just capable of doing everything. So I wanted to be Chad. Not that there was anything wrong with Fred, and I don't know if Fred is a cultural name. But you know, most of the Freds I knew were in their 60s or they were 6 feet under. So I just wanted to be a cool kid and I wanted to be called Chad. And I just remembered that as I was going through high school, how my friends made fun of me because I wanted to be called Chad. But it does just remind me that sometimes it's not as easy as we think to be ourselves. So that was a lovely reminder. And you can all call me Fred. Okay? I'm good with that. I'm also maybe a few years from 60, so there you go. Thank you. At this point, everyone, I would now like to introduce our 2022 awards judging panel, who had the difficult task of making the decisions to determine this year's recipients. So please, judges, if I can invite all of you to stand as I call your names. And there's not a Chad on the list. Okay. Marcus Delvez. Kanta Naik. Krista Perry. Don't be shy. Cecilia Reiki, Annie Silver. Give them a big round of applause. Okay. And thank you so much for all the work that you do. This year, the CDA Event Committee decided to revisit 2 of the 2021 award recipients and spend a little more time getting to know them and their initiatives. They brought along a camera to film and produce a short video to share with all of us this evening. So please, whether you're watching virtually at home or in the ballroom, please enjoy the next few minutes learning about 2 of last year's recipients, Cal Desange and the YMCA Chilliwack.
I grew up in a family where very traditional Sikh values and principles were always espoused. Our family was always about giving back, and I think that seed was planted a long time ago. I grew up in a place where sports, education, good solid traditional values were always promoted and espoused. And I grew up playing a lot of sports. With sports comes teamwork, leadership, commitment, dedication, and sacrifice. And I was able to take a lot of those components and attributes and translate that into other aspects of my life. When I first got into policing, I think I was my perspective was very myopic. It was very one-dimensional. I saw the world in very naive terms, very black and white, because I came from a very academic background. And so joining the VPD, being exposed to that and being thrown right into the downtown east side, it was completely on the opposite end of the spectrum. And my moment of revelation or epiphany was one particular incident, because I was the lone sergeant in my patrol cruiser that night. It was around 2 a.m. in the morning. It was raining quite hard. And I remember swinging my cruiser into the rear lane of one of the lanes in the downtown east side. And I saw this young boy sitting behind a garbage dumpster getting his crack pipe ready. And as soon as he saw my cruiser, he dropped his pipe and he started walking away. And I got out of the vehicle and I called him over. He turns around and he comes back and he puts his wrist in front of me and he said, "If you're gonna throw on the cuffs, then do it. Otherwise, I take it, I'm free to go." And just this hardened, very calloused attitude from somebody so young that came across as so cynical, it was just heartbreaking. And I asked him with genuine, sincere purpose, I said, "Look, man, you're not under arrest, but I do want to know, like, where's your family? Where's your house? What's going on? Like, why are you doing this?" He goes, "If your mom left you when you were young and you have no idea who she is or where she is," he said, "your dad's lying drunk on the sofa right now and has no idea where you are. And your brother's sitting in jail for dealing drugs and there's nobody else at home." He said, "Where would you be?" And that was the last straw on the camel's back, and I said, "Enough of this." I called MCFD, which is Ministry of Children and Families. And so that kid got put into a foster home, taken out of that environment. The very next day, I approached my inspector and I said, "Just give me some nominal funding so I can start programs for these inner city kids. I'll do it on my own time." And I got $500. It doesn't sound like much, but it was a lot for me. But I organized about 150 kids from the downtown east side school catchment area. And we put on a soccer tournament for them, myself and a couple of other officers on our days off. And with that $500, we purchased equipment, the field lease, the insurance, food, water, trophies, medals, certificates, you name it. And it was a fun event. And so we ended up playing soccer with them that day, and you could see these hardened attitudes just melt away and just erode. And they were kids at the end of the day. They're just looking for an opportunity. And I'll tell you, that was all I needed. That just strengthened my resolve and conviction that I need to continue this. I need to do more. And that's where it took off, where within the Vancouver School Board and the Vancouver Police Department recognized the value of the program. And over 7 years, we went from Strathcona Park, a little park in the downtown east side, to renting out all of BC Place Stadium, and with over 2,000 kids in attendance, absolutely free of cost. And that program has since continued, and that became the impetus and seed for the Kids Play Foundation. So I strongly encourage all families and all youth within the community to get involved with something positive where you can give back, because I can tell you there is no greater sense of self-fulfillment than that.
The Y started in Chilliwack over 50 years ago. It was a group of people that got together, that they needed a place for people to gather and really do physical activity. And we opened this Chilliwack YMCA in 2019, so this very building. So although we've been in the community for a long time, this building is new. Regardless of how long we've been in the community, it's always been about strengthening the foundations. So we focus on many things in our programming, but the main three being making sure that we foster belonging and connection, we keep people active, and we help children and families thrive. So the way we provide an inclusive environment, two factors, so one being the physical building, and the other one is the way we behave in the building. We have gender-neutral washrooms. Everything is accessible for wheelchairs, mobility aids, and things like that. So a full family can come in here regardless of age, demographic, gender, and everybody can use the same change room. Everybody can access a fitness floor. Everybody can access our different multi-purpose rooms. We see ourselves as the platform, and we look at the community building their needs and building what they need upon us. So we make sure that our programs are open to all ages, all genders, regardless of your culture, your sexual orientation. We want to make sure that this is a comfortable space, and all our programs are designed in that way. Another way we see as providing inclusivity is providing child, youth, and family programs at the same time as programming for adults. Not only can parents and caregivers have childcare at the same time, but the children also learn a community, and they're able to see different ages and different demographic of our community working around them at the same time. So when we were the very proud recipients of the Inclusive Award for last year, we always strive to do better and more, because that's just, we're an organization that really focuses on growth and development. I've had my eye on a rainbow crosswalk for a very, very long time, and when we received the award, I just felt it was time for us to do the next thing, and we were able to have our very own rainbow crosswalk, which shows everybody that the Y is a safe and welcoming place to all of the community. People come in here for one reason, and they walk out a week or a month later with, we call it our Y family, but truly it's a Chilliwack community family. That's what people are needing right now, and that's what we can provide one another.
Just wonderful stories. Thank you to everyone involved in putting that together. And I think you'll agree, it's stories like that that truly uplifts all of us and uplifts our community, and continued success to both organizations. All right, as you've been enjoying that dessert, I think the sugar rush is on. Let's move on and celebrate our award nominees and recipients. Everyone, this year there were 47 nominees who are doing outstanding work and embracing the Fraser Valley's unique diversity. The 2020 nominees truly represent all areas of diversity, from gender equality to race, ethnicity, age, religion, sexual orientation, abilities, or social economic background. There are nominees in this room and in the virtual room that represent each of these areas, and we should be very proud to know that they are part of our community. Let's have all our nominees please stand or raise your hand nice and high, and everyone please join me in congratulating them and thanking them for the incredible work they do every day. Don't be shy, everyone. Stand, stand. Stand, please stand. There's 47 of you and 16 at home. I want to see the people at home applauding, waving as well. Yes. Nice. Thank you so much. All right. Here we go. Just some housekeeping duties. As we move into the awards category, we will be recognizing all nominees in each category before announcing the award recipient. We are going to save the professional photos until the end of the ceremony, so no worries about any photo taking unless you want to take your own selfies, or you want your friends to come up to the stage in front of us and take some. But we will want the recipients up on the stage, so if your name is called, to receive their award and say a few words if you wish. But just remember to come back up again later. So when your name is called, you're going to be greeted by our lovely volunteers. Please give a warm round of applause to Inder Singh from Archway Community Services. You really brought your fans. All right. And Lalu Shah from New Directions English Language School. They're going to come up on stage and they're going to help us present the beautiful trophies to our recipients. All right. Now that the housekeeping is done, let's move on to the first award category. The first award category is Effective Human Resources Strategies. These nominees recruit, maintain, and provide ongoing support to a culturally diverse workforce reflecting our community. The Effective Human Resources Award is sponsored by Envision Financial. The Envision team was unable to join us in person tonight, but we are grateful and thank Mayor Ken Popov from Chilliwack to the stage to present the award on their behalf. Mayor.
So 60's not that old there, Chad or Fred. Just want to start with that. It's great to be here in West Chilliwack. I owe you that, Henry. It's great to have a good crowd out here. And your preamble was awesome. It's just great to be out in front of a crowd. It's awesome. It's my first time in 2 years that I've done that. So Envision Financial, a division of First West Credit Union, is thrilled to be returning as a sponsor of the Fraser Valley Cultural Diversity Awards. I'm happy here to be presenting on their behalf. Envision aspires to create an inclusive and diverse workplace where everyone feels they belong and can thrive. It's events like this that help drive that concept forward. Thank you for allowing us, that's Envision Financial, to be part of the event. And the nominees are
AFL, Cool Runnings Bistro, Kids Play Youth Foundation, Maximus Canada Employment Services, Otter Co-op.
And the winner is, drumroll, Otter Co-op.
Otter Co-op. Otter Co-op has been a part of the Lower Mainland community since 1922. The Otter Co-op brand encompasses food and pharmacy stores, the Angry Otter liquor stores, a feed and hardware store, a brewery, and gas stations.
Their diverse portfolio is staffed with an equally diverse set of almost 800 team members. They are locally minded and community invested, with over $250,000 donated to local charities in the last year. They are committed to a diverse and supportive working environment based on their core company value of integrity, community, and excellence.
Otter Co-op embraces diversity and inclusion and are working hard to create a workplace that is as diverse as the communities they serve. They support and provide an environment which allows all staff to bring their whole selves to work. They place a high value on attracting talent who are committed to living the brand values.
Otter Co-op's Inspire Leadership Program is one of many resources available to leaders of all levels and is a powerful testament to their collective and ongoing journey to embrace diversity, inclusion, culture, and experience.
Good evening. I'm Kristen Zender, the Vice President of Human Resources for Otter Co-op. On behalf of our entire team at Otter Co-op, I'm thrilled and honored to be here tonight to accept this award. And I'd like to thank the CDA for providing us the platform to be here to raise awareness of this important initiative. I would also like to acknowledge all of the nominees and the collective effort that we're all taking to help move this needle forward. At Otter Co-op, we're embracing the evolving awareness and impact of culture and diversity in the workplace, and we're working hard to create a workplace which is as diverse as the communities we serve throughout BC. We're invested in our people, and committed to evolving our people practices, creating great experiences and an environment which allows all to bring their whole selves to work. We're proud to offer a variety of education, growth, and development programs, including comprehensive education assistance to support career advancement opportunities for all team members in all life and career stages. And we're very proud to attract local talent to our growing organization. People who represent the diversity of our communities and who are committed to living our brand and values and to making a difference in the communities we serve. At Otter Co-op, we invest in local communities by giving back through programs like community spaces and communities in color. That's our co-op way. Last year, we donated over $250,000, and over $33,000 of that went to help our local farmers who were impacted by the flooding. We're also very excited to be celebrating our 100th anniversary in the year that we're receiving this award. So thank you very much.
Well done. Thank you. Everyone, our next category is the Inclusive Environment category. In this category, nominees embrace diversity and create a welcoming environment for culturally diverse groups. It is sponsored by the University of Fraser Valley, and we welcome UFV's first Director of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Sandeep Hans, to the stage to present the award.
Sandeep, 2 English words, Sun, deep, still an Indian name. Inclusive environment, embracing diversity and creating spaces where everyone feels welcome. This is equity, diversity, and inclusion in a nutshell. And equity, diversity, and inclusion is an iterative and self-reflexive process that requires input from our lived experiences, who we are, what our needs are, what our wants are. Structures, both physical and otherwise, so processes, the unwritten rules, are, if informed by lived experience of the people using them and built around that information, will be more inclusive. So who's at the decision-making table? Who is centered in the decisions at the decision-making table? Who is asked? Who is heard? All of this. Our nominees today understand this, and the nominees are
Ann Davis Transition Society, Chilliwack Film Society, Cool Runnings Bistro, Kids Play Youth Foundation, Magnuson Ford, Play Abbey Playgrounds, Systems Business Coach Incorporated.
And the 2022 recipient is Systems Business Coach Incorporated.
Systems Business Coach Incorporated. Since 2008, Systems Business Coach Incorporated has provided small business owners with education, coaching, and training to help their companies scale and grow. While based in Langley, they employ coaches around the world. They believe that with a diverse team of coaches, they are better suited to support small business owners who may want a coach who relates to their experiences.
To fulfill their promise to listen and together find a way, they practice a no-judgment philosophy. All their materials were created to serve people with different physical, mental, and learning abilities, including clients with autism, bipolar, and ADHD. To ensure their images were free of microaggressions, they recently hired a professor to review their guide and also consulted with an LGBTQ+ Chamber of Commerce.
The company is female-owned with a management team led by women. Their team is comprised of people of different cultures, genders, and nationalities. They actively hire students and newcomers to Canada and seek opportunities to hire women in emerging economies.
Their inclusive and understanding work environment accommodates staff's need for mental health breaks and family responsibilities. It's their goal that every individual in their global community feels seen, heard, and understood.
Wow, thank you so much. After food and water, what we all have in common as human beings is we do need to feel seen, heard, and understood. So how do we do that? We be curious. That's why we brought our mascot tonight, Curious George. Mother Teresa said that if you judge someone, you don't have time to love them. That's my favorite saying from her. What would happen if we all stopped judging each other? And that's the basis of coaching. A coach shows up with no judgment. We empty ourselves and show up for the other person in front of us, in wherever they're at and whatever that looks like. When you meet someone that makes you feel uncomfortable, just be curious, and it'll be amazing how that will melt away. It took a pandemic for the world to realize how important our small business owners are. You know, think about your chiropractor and your hairstylist and the local coffee shop. A lot of people that don't fit into mainstream, you know, the A students, the ones that got it right, they all have jobs, but the rest of us, we are all small business owners. And that's where the neurodiversity comes in. I think 80% of small business owners have ADHD. It's because we make terrible employees. So. But we make great bosses. The expression is the A's work for C's. There you go. Small business owners are absolutely the fabric of our communities. They represent 70% of all jobs globally. It's not the big business that's doing that, it's the little guys. So. They represent every walk of life. You know, if you think about your community, that's where they are. So at Systems Business Coach, we know that diversity is a given. We're all different, but inclusion is a choice. So thank you so much. Thank you to the committee. Woohoo! Thank you to my team.
Our third award category is the marketing category. In this category, nominees market or outreach to culturally diverse communities. The marketing award is sponsored by Prospera. I would like to invite Jennifer Dixon, branch manager, to the stage.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
I'm with Prospera, not the Business Development Bank.
Yes.
On behalf of Prospera Credit Union, we'd like to thank the organizers of this event and just the nominees for the marketing award are
Fraser Valley Bandits, Kids Play Youth Foundation, Lest We Forget What Our Eyes Have Seen, Recreation Excellence.
So on behalf of Prospera Credit Union, we'd like to congratulate all of the nominees, and the winner is Recreation Excellence.
Recreation Excellence. Recreation Excellence operates multiple facilities in Western Canada, including Chilliwack's recreational facilities. The success of the company is based on the roots of why it was formed, to serve people in caring ways so that they too can enjoy breakthroughs and life-enhancing moments as they live their lives. They market in diverse, inclusive, and inspiring ways to show that all bodies are welcome at their facilities and classes.
Each of their social media posts are designed with inclusivity in mind, and these best practices and initiatives have created a beautiful portfolio of people. They ensure that all genders, ages, abilities, body types, ethnicities, religions, sexual orientation, and socio-economic backgrounds are represented visually with the images.
They further live out their core values of safety, appreciation, caring, and learning through free online fitness classes accessible to all ages and abilities, motivational messages, water safety tips, as well as contests and other engagement pieces to encourage people to get active.
Well, thank you very much for this recognition. Our team works really hard to ensure that all people feel welcome in our facilities. And we're just really grateful to be able to, hopefully next year we'll be able to be there with you. But we're just really thrilled to be part of this group of pretty amazing people. So thanks very much.
Congratulations. Okay, up next is our Innovative Initiative category. These nominees promote diversity in their community in a very unique way. This award is sponsored by the Business Development Bank of Canada. Please join me in welcoming their representative, Louise Fogarty, Vice President, Financing and Consulting.
I feel like I've been here before. Thank you, Fred. Good evening, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here. For anyone who doesn't know BDC, we are Canada's bank for entrepreneurs, and our purpose is to ensure that all entrepreneurs have access to the financing, the advice, the tools and resources they need to succeed day in and day out. We know that diverse businesses are profitable, they're resilient, and they're innovative. And we're proud to work alongside you day in, day out. Because as one of Canada's best diverse employers ourselves, we try to be an upstander, as Neera said earlier. And we try to really recognize that at the end of the day, it's our differences that really make us all stronger. So I'm thrilled to be here tonight with my colleagues from BDC and to represent BDC in acknowledging the nominees for the Innovative Initiative Award.
Alice Brown Elementary School, Bear Country Bakery Limited, Chilliwack Mural Festival, Communitas, Cool Runnings Bistro, Kindness Chain Chilliwack Association, Proterra Inc. Kindness is Cool Initiative, Spinning for Diversity, You Multicultural, Unlocking the Gates Services Society.
And I would like to congratulate all of the finalists, but it's my pleasure to announce that the winner is Kindness Chain Chilliwack Association.
Kindness Chain Chilliwack Association. Kindness Chain Chilliwack Association is a nonprofit organization run entirely by more than 125 volunteers. Since launching, they have concentrated on 3 major projects. The Sharing is Caring initiative delivers free groceries and hot meals to low-income, marginalized, or homeless community members. They also provide water in the summer and winter kits in the winter to those living on the street.
A second project, Deep Sea Pearls, helps seniors with daily chores, free groceries, greeting cards on holidays, along with barbecues and music events.
They recognize cultural events like Ramadan, Christmas, Easter, Eid, and Valentine's with special meals and events. Organizers are observing positive changes in residents as they become exposed and more accepting of other cultures.
The third initiative is called Healthier Planet. Volunteers gather to clean up the downtown and local lakes and rivers. They also provide outdoor awareness programs like hiking day camps and environmental awareness workshops.
They respond to events like the flooding crisis, where they partnered with Islamic Relief Canada to help flood evacuees and arranged meals for evacuees at a local church.
The association strongly believes in diversity and inclusion and has a diverse team of volunteers reflecting the community they serve. Their motto is, "Serve the community we live in."
Thank you so much, Cultural Diversity, for this award. And we are receiving this award on behalf of our organization, the Kindness Chain Chilliwack Association. We are honored to receive this, to be the recipient of this award, and we could not do this without the support of our amazing team of volunteers, our donors, and our sponsors. All the volunteers of our organization and all the clients are from diverse cultures. We try to celebrate most of the different cultural events, and the purpose behind is to show that we care. So the purpose behind is to show that we are all one community and that we care for each other, and therefore we continue to serve the community we live in and promote the cultural diversity. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. The next award, everyone, we are presenting is very special. We are once again recognizing a youth champion of diversity for youth ages 12 to 17 who work towards building an inclusive society. We are incredibly grateful for the Abbotsford School District for supporting this award, and it's my pleasure now to invite Dr. Kevin Godden, Superintendent of Schools, to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to congratulate all of the nominees for all the work that you do to make this your communities diverse and inclusive and welcoming places. Abbotsford School District aspires, with its 20,000 students, to have every one of them become a champion of diversity. So it is my pleasure to have the nominees announced.
Iana Polar-Dick, Antonio Hacco, Mia Schoon-Gill, Parker Zhang, Shayna Kapoor.
And the winner is Mia Schoon-Gill.
Mia Schoon-Gill. Mia Schoon-Gill is a grade 12 student who is an active volunteer, city youth counselor, youth parliamentarian, UN Canadian Youth Delegate, and Youth Ambassador of Canada and the USA.
Additionally, Mia is a competitive swimmer who volunteers with the Special Olympics BC and Abbotsford Mini Olympians. She volunteers as the social education lead at the Kids Play Foundation and helps organize some of BC's only free summer camps for underprivileged youth in the Fraser Valley.
She is a Foundry Youth Ambassador and spearheaded new initiatives to bridge the gap in people of color accessing mental health support. She organizes the annual Diwali celebrations at Foundry, language accessibility prospects, and more. She helped organize the first peer support group at her school to help students learn self-regulation and peer mentorship while achieving academic credits.
Her community service focuses on longevity and inclusivity to ensure the efforts leave a meaningful impact where she goes. As a South Asian child, she didn't see her culture, history, and art being represented at school, so she arranged for dialogues with teachers and administrators. She helped secure funding that enabled the Crayon Project to donate over 1,000 crayons to Abbotsford youth and led to many schools expanding their foreign arts units.
Well, thanks, everyone. So first of all, it was such an honor to be nominated amongst so many distinguished individuals. Frankly, my fellow nominees inspire me every day. Secondly, I have to thank all my friends, family, and especially my mentors for helping me get here today. It is without their unwavering support that I wouldn't be able to do everything that I've done up till today. And lastly, I promise to keep doing everything that I can to support my community in whatever capacity that I can, because I know you all will too. Thank you so much.
That is truly impressive. I just have one question for you. Do you sleep? Like, that is a lot of stuff that you're involved in, and I presume you still go to school too, right? Okay. Wow, I think we all will agree the future is bright. Yes, well done. Congratulations. It's truly amazing. There are a lot of great efforts being made by our youth today. They are, as I'm sure you'll all agree, our future. And it is very important to acknowledge those who are making a difference in their school and community. So congratulations to every single nominee and, of course, to our winner. Our final category, and I can't believe we're already at the end, is the Champion of Diversity. There were an overwhelming 16 Champion of Diversity nominees put forward this year. This goes to show that the community is really recognizing the work that these leaders are doing. This award is sponsored by our dear friends Van City. Unfortunately, Van City was unable to join us this evening, but I would like to invite Mayor Val Vandenbroek from Langley to present the award on their behalf.
Hi, thank you. And that's Langley City. Technically now Abbotsford East, Ken? Just saying.
I think I need to go to geography school just to figure this out.
We always want to take over our neighbors.
Oh, I
It's
see.
true. Don't talk to mayors. I think all these young people should run for politics because, man, they are busy just like us. I know I start usually at 5 in the morning and I'm done at 10 at night. So, yeah, you're on a career to politics. It's a good thing. Congratulations, everyone, on the nominations. I'm Mayor Val Vandenbroek from Langley City. It's too bad that Mira left because I wanted to say something in regards to names. I look white, right? But I'm of mixed race. I've got African in me, I've got Métis, I've got a mixture. But here's the kicker. My name is actually Valeria, which is Ukrainian / Russian, if you want to call it that. In Eastern Europe, Valerie is the male's name and Valeria is the female's name. Now, imagine having a name like that back in the 70s when the Cold War was originally going on. So I took on the nickname, of course, Val. Everybody called me Val. But even to this date, I get questions of, what? What nationality is that? So I understand, Chad. I don't know if I like that name for you or not. Anyway. All right. On another note, I just want to say something very personal. I am Ukrainian, and there is a terrible war going on right now. And I don't even call it a war. I call it a genocide, in a sense that Putin needs to be stopped. He is killing innocent people. And I just ask you to really take the time and send some love and pray and light to them. We deeply need it. I have relatives there. And I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but we really need to stand up against this because our democracy, everything we've fought for, every time we go to a cenotaph on November 11th, is so that this would never, ever happen again. And it is. So please stand up, please say something, and please get the refugees out of Ukraine. It is not right. Sorry, I'm very emotional about it, and I'm trying to, you can see by my little pin and everything. So I'm gonna go with my script that my admin assistant actually gave me now. So it is truly an honor to be here tonight. I've been a huge component forever and a day of immigration and doing what's right and female rights and all that stuff. So I'm really proud to be here representing Van City. And they pride themselves on being a leading employer and an agent of positive change. And they're building a clean and a fair world, which is truly what we all want, right? Love and peace. So tonight, I am truly honored to present the award for the Champion of Diversity. And I just want to take this time to congratulate all the nominees and all the winners. And I'm very glad I don't have to read out the long list of names, so you will see.
Alyssa Laube, Aman Murda, Amani Puller, Amber Price, Cordell Puller, Dustin Hiles, Jason Lum, Ken Harar, Larry Garfinkel, Mike Bismeyer, Nimrath Olak, Priti Suri, Stephen Hemphill, Stephen Munga, Sukhman Sidhu, Paris Groves.
Sorry, you can tell I like to talk a lot. Okay, and the 222, can you believe it's 2022 already? Recipient is Nimrath Olak.
Nimrath Olak. Nimrath Olak is a registered nurse, nonprofit founder, board member, and volunteer at multiple organizations.
In her professional life, she works at the Seabird Island Indian Reserve and the Abbotsford Regional Hospital. She also works as a youth support worker, providing life skills for at-risk youth and those with special needs.
After being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 3 years ago, Nimrath realized that others in the South Asian community often did not receive enough support due to a lack of knowledge, stigma associated with any illness, language barriers, or cultural stereotypes. In response, she founded Be Better Together Chronic Illness Society. She facilitated support groups, one-to-one peer support, and raised awareness. She became an ambassador with Multiple Sclerosis Canada and a member of Women Against MS, who organize an annual fundraising gala.
She's a board member with the Lily Rose Children's Society, which helps children overcome poverty in Uganda, Kenya, and India. As a board member with Langley Possibilities, she audits facilities and suggests changes to ensure they are accessible to people with disabilities.
She facilitates monthly workshops at the Salvation Army to teach life skills to those experiencing homelessness. Nimrath also volunteers at the Crisis Center to provide support to individuals experiencing a mental or physical crisis.
Thank you for providing me with this honor. I would like to thank you, my family, friends, and the community to always push me to do my best and encourage me to do the best I can. And I would hope to continue to serve the community. Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm beginning to believe no one in this community actually sleeps. You're all too busy doing good things for everyone else, and I think that's truly remarkable. Everyone, please join me in congratulating all of our fine recipients this evening. As well, I want to thank Inder Singh from Archway Community Services and Lalu Shah from New Directions English Language School for helping us on stage with the presentation of the trophies. So everyone, if you were touched or empowered by the stories you heard, or or you were impressed by the nominees sitting in this room or in our virtual room, please don't let it stop here. Remember these stories and remember everyone in your life this week. Talk about the event. Start that conversation. Talk about the nominees. Talk about their work and share the support that they are doing for all of us in our communities. We are better together, and tonight these 47 individuals and organizations truly epitomize that, and you are all winners. It is now my absolute pleasure to welcome a dear friend who I literally see every year, and it is one of the highlights of the evening when we are able to connect and have some time together, and I'm so delighted that we're able to do so in person again. She's also the one that's responsible for me on the stage this evening, so if you have any issues, you can talk to her. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Manpreet Graywal, Director of the Multicultural and Immigrant Integration Services Division with Archway Community Services. That's a mouthful and quite the business card, I'm sure, that you carry. Welcome, Manpreet.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Fred. And it's interesting you say that we should all remember, because this is what pushes us to sort of do our best when we see the efforts which are out there. And I know that Neera had mentioned that somewhere there's a feeling of being small when you're different. And one of the impetuses for us to start these awards was that diversity is not something we should be apologizing for or feeling small about, or we should just be proud and be celebrating. And we've seen that over the last 19 years that our community has imbibed it and, is really, really celebrating it. And gosh, like I could smell flesh and blood outside of the bubble today, and that was amazing. It's amazing to have this energy that there is a life beyond just torsos and head and shoulders. To be able to dress up and to see people has been just fantastic, at least for me. I don't know about the other people here. And we are certainly hoping, because this year we were sort of half the capacity, we are hoping we'll be full force of physical energy next year. I know in the program somewhere it's, lots of people ask me if I'm a keynote speaker, and I said, no, I'm not. I'm just here to thank. I'm here because I get to represent all these beautiful people who I work with at Archway, our wonderful team at, our multicultural and immigrant integration team. Our executive director, Rod Santiago, is here. Our board of directors, Steve, is here. I always acknowledge Walter. He's kind of my ancestor, I acknowledge, if he's in the room. He is the founder of Archway. I also get to represent our wonderful partners in the Fraser Valley, even if they fight over the East Abbotsford, West Chilliwack, or whatever region. But we are all in it together, and I think we feel that, and we bond as a region. And we had to bond because of all the adversity which happened in this region as well in the last little while, but we've always been cohesive as a region, and we appreciate that. So I represent all our partners here as well, and that's why I get to stand up on this stage. And now I'm not going to go off script because I have to thank people and I can't miss anyone, and sometimes I do that and sometimes I don't say the names right, so I'm going to try and do my best. Our award sponsors, without you, we would not be able to put this show on. So grateful that so many of you were with us even last year when it was virtual. This year it was more physical, a little bit virtual, but you believed in us and stood by us, and for that we thank you. Envision Financial, Abbotsford School District, BDC, Prospera, University of the Fraser Valley, Van City. Once again, a big round of applause for all these people. And since we all had to pivot constantly in the last 2 years, our special thank you to WorkSafe, which also pivoted to become our virtual event sponsor this year. Other sponsors, of course, this wonderful venue, and we had to actually not use it last year, so they were flexible with us. Very, very appreciative of what all they provide to us, the wonderful menu, the ambience, the sound, everything. So another round of applause for them. MS Productions, audio-visual sponsor. Element 8 Productions, our video producer. So, the stories we get, you have to have a way of telling the story, and these people help us tell that story. So a big round of applause for them as well. And, I'm going to name the person without whom this could not happen at all. And you've all been in touch with her in one way or another, and that's Patricia. And Patricia, talk about pivoting, and the way you pivot around this event is just absolutely amazing. Whether it's virtual, hybrid, in person, you got it, and you make it sound and feel seamless. And thank you for that. Where are you? And Patricia is helped by a whole committee. So I'm going to start with the different communities. So New Directions, English Language School, Yvonne Hopp, I believe, is here, and Margaret Ann. So Chilliwack Community Services, Darlene Storup, and I know there were other people who represented her too on the committee. Mission Community Services, Kevin Tatla. Rick Rake, I think he is with us virtually, wherever you are, Rick. Thank you. And Rick's been a part of this right from the beginning. And from Archway Community Services, of course, Tracy Leung, she's shy but out there. Kelly Neufeld, she's at the same table. And Muhi, our new Deers supervisor. So thank you all for, continuously believing in the event and putting it together despite challenges. Also want to thank Neera again. She had told us one of her conditions for coming out was that she would be leaving early because she has to do her early morning show, but appreciated her story, and we'll get that back to her as well, that we really appreciated. And of course, somebody needs to hold the crowd, whether it's a virtual room or a physical room, and that's Fred Lee for us. And the reason why we keep bringing him back is because he does hold the room very well, and people ask us about you, Fred, and ask us if you're coming back again. And that's why we keep bringing you back again. So I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you can come up, I do have a little gift for you as well. I did not sanitize my hands. Thank you. So you wash yours after that. I'm good. Yeah, with that, Patricia, do I hand it back to Fred, or do we? Okay. Well, thank you. That was my time with you.
Thank you, Manpreet. And also thank you to Patricia. I mean, the two of you make it such a joy to come back every year, and I do feel like I am part of this community, and it's always wonderful to see some familiar faces, and this is really the time to connect and reconnect with loved ones and dear friends, and truly, you have made me feel so welcome, and I speak highly of all of you and the good work that you do, and I will continue to do so, and I hope to have the invitation back again next year. Thank you. Everyone, that concludes our evening. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We have one final housekeeping duty, and that is we want to invite all the category recipients to come to the stage for a group photo with your award. This will be the official class photo of 2022. So please join us for a few minutes. We've got our official photographer here to take the photos. And of course, we look forward to seeing everyone next year. So please, if you know someone or an incredible organization that is doing great work, that is advancing equity, diversity, and inclusion, and building community right here, please put their name or their organization forward. Again, we are better together. I want to see some of those photos. Please tag #Cultural Diversity Awards. I look forward to seeing you all next year. Have a great night, everyone.